Okay, grade 9s, I wanted to quickly introduce to you and explain what we will be doing over the next few weeks. We will be starting a new unit, which is a poetry unit, now that we have all finished Master Harold and the Boys. So this poetry unit will include 5 poems, and each of the poems will be taught to you through a little video lesson by a different teacher. There will be 1 or 2 per week, depending on the public holidays. So, where we have a 5 day week, there will probably be 2 poems. Where we have a 3 day week, there'll only be 1 poem. And at the end of each little video lesson, there will be a writing task for you. So you will have to demonstrate your whatever you've learned from that poem. So if that poet uses symbolism particularly well, then you will be asked to write a couple of lines in which you demonstrate how we use symbolism. Your final summative will be to produce your own poem using the techniques that we've shown you, and you are going to include a rationale. Some of you will remember that the rationale is a short paragraph or document in which you explain what you were trying to achieve and what techniques you used in an attempt to achieve your purpose. At this stage, the due date is the 15th of May, but we will need to see depending on what happens after lockdown. So these are the 5 poems that will be taught. Mrs. Dowie, myself, will teach the Barbie doll. Mrs. Miner will teach We Real Cool. Mr. Reinerson will teach My Mistress's Eyes Are Nothing Like the Sun. Mr. Thomas will teach Search for My Tongue, and Mrs. Tokley will teach Barn Owl. Just one point, just because you have Mrs. Tokley as your teacher doesn't mean that you only listen in on her poem. All grade 9 students will be listening in on all 5 of these poems, which have been taught by a slightly different teacher. We know that you are finishing up your Master Harold essays this week. We just wanted to give you a bit of a heads up and a bit of direction for what will be happening in the coming weeks.